Episode. We call this the Relevant Recruiter Show, but the last 2 weeks I've been joined with my partner Alexis in our new venture, Aura Marketing. And today we are going to be diving in and talking about how one recruiting agency that we're working with has completely changed the game in the way that they are marketing their company by really empowering the personal brands from their recruiting team. So before we get into the good stuff, if you are here with us, if you can go ahead and give us some likes, comments, and love to spread the reach of this wonderful video, I appreciate that, as well as just letting us know that you can hear us in the chat. That would be awesome. So, I'm going to dive right in. There's kind of a cool story that comes from our partnership with this company. And this was a company that I was actually coaching for a few months prior to us, kind of launching Aura Marketing behind the scenes. And so this was before it was actually even called Aura Marketing. We were still figuring out the name and the brand of the company. And so when I was working with this company, they were contracted with a marketing agency. And, I started to look at their contract and look at what was being delivered. And honestly, it just frustrated me, really irritated me. And I think this is one of the biggest challenges that we, have kind of set out to solve in this industry, which is to actually provide solutions that work for clients, not provide a book of services that we can execute on and then charge you for. And so what I mean by that is there's a lot of things in the digital marketing and social media marketing world that are out there. There's paid advertisement, there's websites, there's social media, there's Google ads, there's pay-per-click, there's SEO, there's all these buzzwords and all these shiny objects, that an agency can do for you. But very few of those things actually drive revenue for recruiting agencies. And because I've been working with recruiting agencies over the last 5 years, I've had a chance to personally test some of these things myself. And I know what works and what doesn't. I also get a really good, kind of ear to the ground on what other recruiting agencies are doing. And there's certain things that just come up over and over and over again that don't work, yet marketing agencies still offer this. And of course, as a recruiter, your expertise is not marketing. So it's kind of difficult for you to, siphon through that. So when I was reviewing this company's, contract, and I was seeing things like they were, being charged, several $1,000s a month, close to $5,000 a month in marketing services. And there's things in there like SEO, there's things in there like animated videos, things in there like 8 posts per month. And none of that stuff is really going to move the needle. SEO, for example, great buzzword. It's been around for years. And in fact, my dad's flooring business, when I was doing that, we grew a lot through SEO. But when I ask a recruiter this, and especially one who's a true headhunter, it's like, do you really want candidates that are Google searching? I haven't found a recruiter that's told me yes to that answer, because most of the time who's coming through and most of the people that experience Google search, doing pay-per-click advertising or SEO stuff, you're not attracting the candidates that are really truly going to be viable for the searches that you're doing. So that's just kind of one example of something that's way oversold in this industry. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have an SEO strategy, but it's just a matter of in what order am I doing these types of things. And so, before we started really launching our plan with them, which Alexis is going to break down in a minute, this company that we worked with was getting poor advice from a marketing agency, and really they were checking the box like, hey, we got our marketing done, we've got our posts, but it wasn't really moving the needle for them. And that's something that we really take pride in, is providing services that actually generate, new opportunities for companies. So before, working with us, all of their marketing efforts really came from the company itself. And as a result of that, and it's not a knock on the company, is the marketing was kind of, it really wasn't connecting with the audience. Yeah, they're checking the box of content creation, but they're not connecting with anybody. They're not inspiring anybody, not moving anybody forward. They were posting about 8 times per month, which is honestly, like, you shouldn't even post. I mean, it's eight times a month is not enough to capture attention from people and actually get them to know, like, and trust you. And especially as we move forward in this digital age. So it's really just kind of hey, let me check a line item. And, all of the video strategies that were being deployed were outdated. And what I mean by that is they were very produced in commercials, which people don't connect with produced commercialized videos anymore. They were animated. And it's not to say that there's not a place for these types of things, but your whole strategy shouldn't be based off of, technology. It should be based off of authenticity. And, again, like I mentioned, they were doing Google's search and pay per click, and the budget that was being recommended isn't even going to drive a result. And so this was when we approached them with our content conversion system. We knew this was the exact fit. And this was the first company that we tried our content conversion with, not from an independent recruiter, an individual within a company, but the entire team. So I'm going to turn it over to Alexis now, and she's going to explain exactly how we help this organization, implement the content conversion system and really make a massive impact.
Yeah, thank you. So I think one of the first things to address is probably the question that a lot of people have that work with or for an organization is a lot of those people think that, well, what about the brand as a whole? Like, don't I need to be marketing the brand? And I just want to remind everybody that's in an organization or runs an organization, you have humans and people within your brand, and those people need to also build their brand, because when you do that, you're creating an incredibly strong marketing plan and a marketing efforts for the whole organization. Those feed into the organization itself. I think a lot of times we think, well, we need to be just marketing the organization, but you have to market the humans in your brand, in your organization. They're the ones that are making the calls. They're the ones that are getting clients, candidates, doing different tasks. So it's very, very important to remember that. And I think that it's one of the biggest things that comes up with the organizations. And so when we started working with this group, we decided they decided as an organization who was going to be some of the players that were going to be creating content for the organization. And these included people that had different roles, contract, perm, different, big four, like who was working and doing what. And so what we did with that group was we set up different recording times for everybody in the organization over our 6-month period. So everybody knew the time slots they had. They were able to sign up for those in advance and create plans of action for the content that they were going to be creating. And we implemented our content conversion system with each of these people within the organization. And that system is we help position their personal brand so that they could lead in their market, they could serve their audience with value, and really create connection. When we just market the brand and the organization, there's no authentic connection. Like, what organizations do you feel connected to? My guess is not many. You really want to connect with the humans within the organizations. So we worked with those individuals to create content for their specific, their niches within the niche of the organization that was really authentic to their audience. And so every month, those different people that had signed up for the calls would receive content that they would market on their personal pages, but then also select content that was relevant would also be marketed on the brand page. And the beauty of that, if you think about what they were doing before with the content that they were getting that was super generic to the organization, was that it was just that generic to the organization. But now their page, their content for their organizational page had personalized content too that was relevant and actually connected for the people that were paying attention to that page and also in the individuals. So it had like a twofold double effect. And the thing that you have to remember as an organizational leader is if you're helping position your team for success, if you're investing in the individuals to build their personal brand, you're investing in the organization. And think about that as a whole. Like, creating content for just an organization is kind of not only do I not believe it connects really well, it's just a kind of a one point effort. If you're investing in, 15 to 20 people of your team, you are having a significantly higher impact than if you're just investing in marketing for the organization. So it's a really interesting and effective way to implement our content conversion system, where we help position everybody in the team as leaders to serve and to connect in order to help the whole organization grow as a whole. Donnie, do you want to share some of the results or maybe some examples from the...
Yeah, why don't you walk through the actual content conversion system again, and then I'll kind of share that
Absolutely.
at the end. Yeah.
So for our content conversion system, whether you're an individual or if you work with a team, Like I said, we want to help position you to lead, serve, and connect. So what we do is we create content within that framework that helps you do those things every single month. So we set up a recording call and we create content. So leadership content, what's going on in your industry? What are some of the things that you're noticing? What are some of the solutions that you have to those problems? What are some success stories that you have? So we really want people to view you as a trusted authority. And in order to do that, you also want to serve. You want to come with goodwill. You want them to feel like you're on their team and that you understand what's going on. So in the serve category, we want your tips, we want your tricks, your how-tos, your steps in order to meet the objective that you're talking about. And then in the final pillar, the connect, which is really, I think, what sets our framework apart in a really different way. We want people to feel connected to you. We want them to see the values that you have, how you run your organization, who taught you those values, different things that you've learned along the way that create authentic connection. And in this way, we're really able to create an authentic brand that truly markets and keeps you top of mind for your clients and your candidates. So that's the framework. That's our content conversion framework. And we're able to do that in just an hour a month where we have a call with you in order to do that framework. So in the same way that we do that with individuals, we do that with organizations, but with multiple people within the organization.
Excellent. So, Nicola, not sharing the company on this one, but I will tell you that they're a very successful accounting and finance recruiting firm based out of Houston. They've got over 30 employees on their team. And, we're implementing this system specifically for them. So, yeah, I mean, one of the things that really makes this unique for them is because of their kind of expertise in the niche. And then like Alexa said, we kind of help them dive down, niche down even more within that niche or niche or whatever we want to call that. So let's talk a little bit more. I want to follow up on a couple of things that Alexa said that I think are really, really important. And the first one is really that we are able to take the heavy lifting off of content creation from the recruiters. You didn't hire recruiters or even BD reps to be content creators. So you hired them to be recruiters or BD reps, and you want to keep them in their zone of genius. So one of the most powerful things that we're doing here is we're deploying this brand strategy for them, but it's not taking time from their day job, which is so powerful for the organization. From some of the things that Alexis mentioned. The other thing that I think is really important is sometimes, we want the ultimate like inbound lead is the result of this. And that's what they've gotten. We'll talk a little bit more in detail with results, but I always ask people, it's like, when a phone number comes up on your phone and, it says Alexis on it, I know who's on the other end of the phone. I'm going to pick it up and answer it. Right. When I get a cold phone number, if I don't know who the person is, I'm not near as receptive. And one of the things that personal branding does is it allows for more of a connection. So when somebody reaches out and calls, my clients experience this all the time. It's a warmer personality. Like, oh yeah, you know what, Alexis, I've seen your stuff. I know who you are. So, as a recruiting organization, Alexis brought into the point of, it's not the company necessarily that's making the calls. It's the people that's making the calls. Now you're creating transparency and authenticity for the individuals in your organization. Again, there's really no recruiting firms that I know that are doing this that are outside of this at this level, outside of this firm that we're working with down in Houston. And so, here's some of the things that have really transpired for them since we've started working with them. First, is just the amount that they're putting out. The previous agency was pushing out 8 posts for them per month. We're doing 60 plus pieces of content that they can siphon through for their personal brands and their company brand page and post on LinkedIn, as well as be able to regurgitate these things for other social media platforms, as well as providing them content for their newsletters and things like that. So the amount of content is just I don't know what that is, triple, 6 times, I don't know. They went from being kind of stiff and corporate to much more authentic and transparent and focus more on connection with their audience. Okay. And what this did again is it really allowed them to showcase the expertise of the company but showcase the individuals within the company as well. So it's not, and I know you guys, those of you that have recruiting teams, sometimes when you're the face of the brand and then, oh, well, so-and-so is going to help you in the organization, they don't know, they might feel a little angst because it's like, well, is that person proven? Well, now we're kind of solving that problem because they get to see the personalities that are going to be helping them, and they're going to be able to see their individual track records of success and who they are and how they're showing up. So there's nothing as powerful as this out there. The big thing that everybody wants is the leads, right? And so they're accounting and finance, company, and their recruiters are actually getting inbound leads from Big Four candidates. I'm not saying that you have to be Big Four to be qualified, but I'm just saying Big Four because those of you in the accounting and finance space know if you get Big Four candidates reaching out to you, you're doing something right just from their content efforts. But also, like I was saying, it's not just what they're reaching out to, it's how they're responding as they're doing outreach. There's more awareness of the brand as they're doing outreach. From the business development side, they're getting inbound leads consistently from, existing people in their network, from people that are joining their network, from, clients that have been there in the past. But most importantly, they're getting, inbound leads from cold prospects that have never worked with them before, with people that may have been in their world, but they're actually moving forward. But again, I go back into the main point. Because we're taking all the heavy lifting off of their plate, they're actually making more placements as a result of this, because we're driving the machine for them. Then their recruiting team is staying in their zone of genius, and that is resulting in more revenue for the firm. Okay. But one of the really unique benefits that's out there that I think it wouldn't be something that people would naturally think about. But when you think about how recruiting agencies typically are kind of developed and what the structure is, a lot of people get burnt out by the approach, right? A lot of it is phone calls, and I'm not trying to confuse anybody here. Of course, you got to be on the phone to be successful as a recruiter. But there's so much outbound, so much cold, that it can be demoralizing for the entire team when they're doing the same things over and over again. So when we come in and kind of bring this new flavor to the table, it really inspires the team. They're doing something different that they usually do every single day. The other thing, though, that's happening is because of what we're doing and how we're doing it, we're expanding these individuals within their organization. We're getting them to step outside of their comfort zone. So we're in effect, we're helping grow their team, because even though this is content and they're getting on camera maybe for the first time, that expands them in their belief in other things that they haven't been able to do before. And it's really building like this team confidence, and everybody's empowering each other, within their organization, because they're doing something different. And because we're doing this for the organization, we're actually in a unique spot where we can really hold these individuals accountable, and we can be the one that kind of pushes them to their next level and help them up level and upskill themselves, so that they're not only the organization is impacted, but each individual personal brand is impacted. This company is forward thinking. They get it. They have an abundance mindset. They take care of their employees, and they're doing things that can impact these people beyond, what even they might even be doing with their company. Right. So that's exactly how we've been able to help this company, is by implementing our content conversion system, so their team of recruiters can stay in their zone of genius while they are building a personal brand and driving inbound leads for themselves and for the organization. So if you are running an organization and you want to explore how we can deploy this type of a strategy for you and your team, then just drop a comment below, send me a direct message, and we can hop on a call. Now, one of the things, just to remind for those that weren't on the training last week, is we guarantee results. So there's really nothing to lose here to hop on a call. All we're going to do is learn more about you and your business, see if you qualify to be a part of this program. And, from there, we'll share our different, options and offers and solutions for you. So if you want to get on a call, just drop a comment below, send me or Alexis a direct message. I'll drop my calendar link in there too, if somebody wants to just hop on to that. But before we drop off, I just want to see if there's any questions you guys have about the content conversion system or some of the results there.
While we're waiting for any questions, one of the things that you mentioned that I think is so important is, like, if you were hiring another marketing agency or a college intern to do your marketing, or, something along those lines, they're an external contractor for you. And we really act like an internal part of your marketing team as best as we can. And kind of like what you were talking about, like helping support everybody on your team, not just with the accountability, but we want to take that off of your plate as well. Like we want to be the ones reaching out, helping, guiding, and creating content with them so that we really act like an internal part of your team because we want results for you and we're able to do that as opposed to somebody else that's just checking the boxes of what they need to do, which is one of the things I love about what we're doing, Donnie, is that we get to be
Yeah,
team members with our clients in that way.
absolutely. And that's, again, why we're looking to work with just a select few, people, because we want people that find the value in us, but we also find the value in them. And then we can all actually partner and do some things together. And, I think it's just incredibly powerful to have these types of strategies in your organization. And this is ahead of the curve, guys. This is stuff that should be happening. That's where a lot of agencies are still, kind of behind the times with some of these things. So if you're interested in kind of getting ahead and making sure that you're keeping pace and ahead of the pace than your competitors out there, then there's nothing else on the market like this that exists. So get in this opportunity sooner rather than later. And, like I said, drop in the comments, grab a call there, drop a comment below if you're interested, or send direct Alexis and I a direct message. We're going to continue to show up here, share the results that we're delivering for our clients. But, like I said, if you're truly serious about growing your recruiting firm, then you need to at least explore this and get on a call with us. And so we can lay this out for you and your team. So I think that's it for everything for today. No questions came through. Thank you guys for being here. If you enjoyed this, if you can give us a little like and a little love, we would appreciate that. But we will be back here in a couple of weeks talking more marketing and growing your recruiting business from a digital social media strategy. This is Donnie Gupton and Alexis. But anyways, we'll see you guys soon. Thank you guys for being here.